Hey everyone. A lot of what we have discussed and learned has been on a general philosophical level. This video is meant to break things down into specifics. In other words, real examples that may allow you to walk away with actionable takeaway or at least a much deeper and relatable understanding. You'll see a handful of these actionable videos sprinkled throughout the course. In this module, we're talking a lot about both white and blue collar jobs and how they could be changed or replaced. Most of the conversation led towards being replaced, so let's focus on the possibility of just change instead. Since the whole course is framed around AI's tie-in with education, let's talk about specifics and how AI could affect education. In fact, maybe we can touch on some outside-the-box forward-thinking ideas to reshape the profession. We have or will discover that a teacher in their nuanced capacity can't be replaced. AI will never notice subtle body language that indicates a student's mood. AI will never be able to cater towards the students' various needs in terms of how to get them to participate. Some students need you to reel them in with easy barrier to entry questions. Others need to be called on immediately. Others you want to reserve the more rigorous questions for. Some students need a brain break, and by simply letting them walk to the water fountain, they're good to go when they get back. Some students need their walls broken down by a genuine smile upon entering the classroom. The list goes on and on and on. Human connection is important and must remain a large percentage of the learning process. However, it doesn't have to be 100%. Let's talk about the now in terms of what could work, whether it is standard practice or just a tool in the teacher's tool belt. Stations play a role in education and in most settings. Typically, there's 3 to 5 rotations, and in a single teacher classroom, all but one of those rotations are without a teacher. Could we infuse AI learning into this situation, into the stations? A baby step would be to have a station where the students are going to go through some type of independent work and then use AI to help them fill in the gaps or clarify misunderstandings. Parameters would be developed, but the parameters could be loose, allowing students to ask what they want. In other words, we are secretly and simultaneously allowing them to discover better prompting methods. Let's get into some specifics. Let's imagine this is a middle school ELA classroom focused on narrative writing. The class is divided into 4 stations. 1 is an AI writing assistant, 2 is peer collaboration table, 3 is independent reading and response, and 4 is the mini lesson with the teacher. Each station runs for about 15 to 20 minutes with a 60 to 80 minute class period. At the AI Writing Assistant station, students could use tools like ChatGPT with age-appropriate guardrails to brainstorm ideas, generate outlines, or revise drafts based on teacher-given prompts. Parameters are clearly established. Students can ask the AI for help developing a plot structure, strengthening descriptive language, or clarifying sentence variety, but they must submit their original and AI-supported drafts to show their progression. This station is not about offloading the writing process, it's about scaffolding student creativity and revision of skills. The AI becomes a coach, not a ghostwriter. Teachers can pre-program certain prompts or use a classroom LMS to funnel specific tasks to students based on their writing goals. Meanwhile, students at the peer collaboration table might be given each other feedback using rubrics or sentence starters. At the reading station, they annotate a short story or chapter excerpt, responding to AI-curated guiding questions tailored to their reading level. The teacher-led station provides direct instruction to small groups, perhaps focusing on figurative language or dialogue conventions, adjusting according to formative assessment data gathered from the AI station. As students rotate, the AI can even compile analytics, like grammar issues or misunderstandings, for the teacher to review post-class, enabling data-driven instruction the next day. This setup not only supports differentiated instruction and student agency, but also prepares students to use AI responsibly, critically, and creatively, a key goal in today's educational landscape. Let's push this vision further and imagine a classroom where a fully functioning AI robot, humanoid in form, but distinctly robotic in voice and demeanor, serves as a classroom assistant with embedded intelligence, mobility, and task-specific learning algorithms. Let's place this in a 7th grade science classroom during a lesson on ecosystems. The human teacher is still emotionally an instructional leader of the room, but the AI robot plays a critical support role that amplifies student engagement and instructional efficiency. As class begins, the AI assistant, named something like Ed-I, Educational Intelligence, moves from desk to desk using facial recognition and RFID homework tags to confirm submission of assignments, providing a visual cue, like a green light, for one-time submissions and a polite prompt for missing work. It quietly records this data in the gradebook, the software, via secure Wi-Fi integration, freeing the teacher to check in one-on-one with a student who's been absent or struggling. While the students begin a bell ringer activity, Ed-I monitors noise levels and engagement using built-in microphones and thermal cameras, non-invasive but informative, and gently reminds distracted students to refocus using scripted language that avoids embarrassment. During the lessons, Ed-I can project visual models on its chest, like the screen on its chest, or onto nearby surfaces to supplement the teacher's lecture. It can field basic conceptual questions using a constrained version of AI dialogue that has been vetted by the district for accuracy. Where things get more dynamic is during small group work. Ed-I circulates and uses voice recognition to detect misconceptions. For instance, if a student says that predators are not part of the ecosystem, Ed-I might pause and say, "Interesting thought. Would you like a visual example to explore that further?" It can display a food web or diagram on demand, or pose a Socratic-style follow-up question to guide students toward deeper understanding. It can even log trends and misunderstandings and alert teachers in real time, suggesting 4 students in Group B are confused about traffic levels. The robot might also facilitate formative assessments by scanning exit tickets and flagging answers that don't meet expectations, allowing the teacher to tailor the next day's lesson. Importantly, the AI robot doesn't replace the teacher's human presence or emotional intelligence. It doesn't console a crying student, mediate conflicts with empathy, or adapt instruction based on a child's subtle nonverbal cues, but it does offload the mechanical, repetitive, and data-heavy tasks that bog down teachers, giving them more time to connect meaningfully with students, providing tailored feedback, and evaluating the learning experience. In the long term, such integration could redefine classroom roles, where the human educator becomes more like a conductor of learning and the AI becomes an ever-improving, always available first violin, precise, reliable, and always ready to assist. Taking the vision further, imagine a classroom or even an entire school equipped with multiple AI teacher assistants, each optimized for specific roles and deployed strategically across the learning environment. These aren't identical robots, but rather a diverse team of specialized AI units, some mobile and humanoid for social interaction and classroom presence, others stationary or wall-mounted to support analytics, logistics, or content delivery. Over time, what begins as a novelty becomes infrastructure, just as smartboards and document cameras once did, fundamentally reshaping what teachers are able to accomplish in a day. With multiple AI assistants, the load of instruction, management, and operations could be partitioned in smart ways. One assistant might focus exclusively on real-time academic support, answering content-related questions based on the curriculum and even tailoring its responses based on students' learning profiles and IEP accommodations. Another might be dedicated to logistical oversight, automatically marking attendance using facial recognition, recording behavioral data for positive reinforcement systems, and managing transition between class periods. A third AI assistant could handle materials distribution, from passing out lab supplies to restocking pencils, or even customizing handouts for different reading levels. These roles would free teachers from the constant tug of war between instruction and logistics, allowing them to dive deeper into mentorship, feedback, and one-on-one learning interventions. From a long-term affordability perspective, the initial capital investment for AI teacher assistants would be significant, perhaps comparable to the rollout of one-to-one device programs or solar panels on school rooftops. But over time, costs would drop and scale and iteration. Schools could enter leasing or consortium-based ownership models, sharing AI resources across campuses. Maintenance, updates, and ethical oversight would become a new sector of ed tech, creating jobs while ensuring compliance and improvement. As with any transformative technology, the return on investment would lie in human capacity. Teachers who are no longer burnt out from micromanagement, students who get more feedback, more engagement, and more tailored help. Beyond the classroom, AI assistants could fundamentally restructure school operations. One or more robots could manage hall duty, mentoring for student safety while scanning for unusual patterns, like a student repeatedly lingering alone, which might signal a need for a counselor intervention. Others could assist with arrival and dismissal routines, greeting students, checking for symptoms or forgotten items, and syncing transportation updates with parents. In larger schools, AI could coordinate scheduling assignments in real time when a teacher is absent, pairing available staff or creating hybrid modules where students seemingly between in-person, AI-facilitated, and asynchronous learning. The most powerful shift, however, would be in the realm of depth and productivity. When teachers are freed from managing paperwork, repeated instructions, and procedural routines, they can focus on building relationships, exploring deeper inquiry-based learning, and coaching students through interdisciplinary projects that require real thought and collaboration. Teachers could spend more time on curriculum innovation, looping back with students to explore misconceptions or extend their thinking. Schools could become true learning labs, not just places of compliance and routine. In that world, AI doesn't just make education faster and more efficient, it makes it more human by giving educators the time, space, and tools to do the work that only people can do best. So we went really deep here. Part of it was a fun thought experiment, but the other part was an early brainstorm on what could be coming. Either way, the AI infusion ultimately helped productivity in significant ways. Thanks for watching, and we hope you'll check out the next video.